everyone, ومرحبا يا ديانا. أمان هي المدينة جميلة جدا وأنت سأحب كثيرا. Yeah, that was my Arabic. I haven't practiced in a while. But I understand what you're talking about, Diana. I really don't like it when I'm practicing Arabic and people are like, oh, that's that language that's all squiggly things. I'm like, it's called Arabic. It's a real language. I could understand it if I were practicing my Elvish and they're like, oh, that's that one that guy made up for that book. But no, this is an actual language spoken by actual people relating to an actual culture. I agree. Don't hate on cultures. It's just not cool. And to Isabel, which kind of built off of what Diana said about social media, I think somehow it's slightly less sketchy now. We have all these other forms of communication now, such as vlogging, and I feel like it's a lot harder to portray yourself as someone you're not in video format. If it were all just text-based, if it were all just chat rooms and forums, it's a lot easier for, say, me, a 19-year-old girl, to pretend to be a 50-year-old man in writing than in video. So, Rob, I'm an anarchist, but I'm also a realist, so that kind of has transformed me into a socialist. So, of course, I agree with the idea of universal health care. I agree that it should be a right, not a privilege. Just because you can't afford the hospital bills does not mean you should be bleeding out all over the place. That's bad. Understand the hesitancy of middle-class America to want to pay for lower-class America's health care. But that's part of the problem. You see, I was taught in school that capitalism makes a triangle. There's the upper class at the top and the lower class at the bottom, and there's mostly lower class, teeny tiny little bit of upper class, and kind of a middle class, but not really. I was then taught that American capitalism made it more of a diamond, so that there were very few people at the tippy top and very few people at the very, very bottom, and mostly everybody was in the middle. We're losing that diamond and going back to a triangle, and I think that is part of the problem. If we had more regulations, say more taxes on the wealthy, we would not have quite so much of a problem with an overflowing lower class that can't afford certain things that ought to be rights but are not. How did you do that? You were Ron and then suddenly you were a panda. That was like magical and mystifying. I wish I were traveling someplace this summer so that I could use your tips. However, you included the most important thing, as my father taught me for traveling, your towel. Know where your towel is at all times, particularly if you are hitchhiking. Especially if you're hitchhiking in space. And I have nothing to contribute today because I'm kind of loopy. I gave myself a concussion earlier this week on the corner of my desk because I'm a klutz and need to baby-proof my room for my own protection. And now I'm on really, really fun medication for pain, but it's not conducive to videoing. I'll be better next week, and I'll talk about something that's like legitimate instead of just responding to everyone. But you guys had interesting points and I couldn't think of anything. I will see you all next week though with a quality video.